That means if you have something in your house that you can modify, do that. So don't go to the house of God first. Don't go borrow. If you got some clothes that you need to sell because you're not going to wear them, put them on eBay and Craigslist. If you have $300 cable, go down to $100 cable. If you got a top-of-the-line phone, reduce that cost. How are you going to take your responsibility for yourself to modify your finances? Amen? Amen. And then Philippians 4:13, I'm sure we all know this one. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Meaning lifestyle change, getting real about our money is scary, and it doesn't feel good, and it's uncomfortable, but with God, all things are possible. And guess what? He's given us everything that we need already. Amen. So we just have to dig deep and trust on him and do the work for lifestyle change to come to pass. Amen? Amen. So just a little bit about me. Born and raised here, went to Oakland Tech, went to Sac State for accounting, but a little bit before I got to Tech, I had to start learning the business. The family business being accounting and tax preparation. Not that McDonald's wasn't a good place to work. I just had other options. So when I started working with my dad, I saw how much money he made. I saw, the people that he helped. And that was my driving point of, I've got to learn accounting. I want to help people. I want to serve people. I want to change some people's lives. So that's just a little bit about me. I work with a lot of churches. I work with a lot of pastors. I work with lots of people. I'm still in heavy tax season, by the way. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's talk about getting real about our finances. Let's talk about some financial goals that we might want to have. If you understood that the things you did today would have a direct impact on your future, wouldn't you change your behavior? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure your great-grandparents thought about that. I'm sure your grandparents thought about that. And I'm sure you do as well. Your parents and you. It's like, okay, well, if I spend this today, how is it going to help me for my future? That's all about changing the mindset of your thinking when it comes to money. Learning to live within your means. I know it's difficult, but it only takes 21 days to create a habit. So if you try this, just try it. Give yourself 30 days to try it. You'll start seeing a difference. Meaning, you're going to tithe 10%, you're going to save 10%, you're going to reinvest 10% into your life, and you're going to live off the 70. I know it sounds difficult. So if it's too difficult, how about just trying saving $25, tithing 25, saving 25, and investing 25? But don't sell yourself short. If you actually tried this, you will never be broke another day in your life. Just try it. I have. Have you guys heard about a zero-based budget? Creating a zero-based budget. That means spending every dollar you have on paper before you actually spend it. That's what that means. I have lots of notes. So let me go there. Some things that might be a part of your budget. First of all, we have to think about all of our streams of income. Do I have a business? Or am I a W-2 employee? So that's the top part. Capturing all of your income. And then what are some things that are fixed for you or variable for you? Do you have a mortgage or rent? Everybody has gas, electricity, water, garbage, auto expenses. You got to fill your tank up every week or however often. Auto insurance, maintenance, car registration, cable TV, which we'll talk about is not really a necessity. Life insurance, debt reduction. You may have to pay for babysitting. Groceries, eating out-of-pocket medical expenses, doing personal care, making charitable donations, creating an emergency fund. Do you guys know what an emergency fund is? It's 2 to 3 months of your income tucked away for an emergency. New car savings, a college fund if it applies to you. Dry cleaning, gifts for birthdays, Christmas, or holidays. maintenance, household maintenance, retirement and savings, magazine subscriptions, and I'm just giving you just a sample list. Your personal entertainment and your cushion. So all of the expenses need to match your income on paper, and your balance should be zero. There may be some money left over. If you're in the positive, pay down some debt, or start a savings, or start an emergency fund. If your difference is negative, cut out some things you do not need. And that might be a hard decision to figure out. So if you're single, just be real with yourself. I can't get my hair done every 2 weeks. I can get it done once a month, so I need to learn how to wash and condition and flat iron my own hair. You know, I like to get my toes done every 2 weeks, but if I can't do that, I'm going to get a shellac or gel pedicure and get it done once a month, and it'll still be shiny come week 3, okay? So there's some things that you have to say, let me take an inventory of myself and go, if I'm going to create a zero-based budget, if I'm going to create a savings, if I don't always want to be in the red, you know, spend it on paper and then stick to it. Create yourself a plan and implement the plan. I know it's hard and it's tough, but it's very, very important. If you're a W-2 employee, how many times have you guys taken a second look at the W-4 that you filled out? Because you do? Okay. Because sometimes you're having either too much money taken out of your check, so you don't have a lot at the end, or you're not having enough money taken out of your check, and then you owe at the end of the year. So you need to take if you haven't done it yet, we're almost to the end of the year, we're ending the third quarter now. Take a second look at your W-4 so you can determine if you need to increase or decrease your exemptions based on what your needs are to live. Okay? And you know, zero, if you know you do 0-1, that takes the maximum taxes out. And if you do anything more than that, that, you know, decreases, it gives you more money in your check. I don't know if I have any self-employed people in here, but if I do, think about making your quarterly tax payments. And if you haven't, make sure you set aside that money for savings, because you will owe at the end of the year. We do have to pay Uncle Sam too, okay? So I talked about how to cut some of your expenses, the cell phone, the eating out. Go to the grocery store and make about 3 meals on Sunday, whether you use your crock pot and stuff them in the freezer. Take them out, have them for lunch. If you do that, you're going to cut off $100 right there just by eating out during the week. If you work in the city and they offer a commuter check, get the commuter check. You save another $100 in travel right there. Now, yes, they are pre-tax dollars and they do come out of your check, but your job does help you with it. However, there's another opportunity to save you some money. Alternative income streams. Some people sell Avon, some people say, Avon, some people sell Mary Kay, some people are notaries. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was a notary. A life insurance person, a real estate person, but most of my life is accounting and taxes. So, you know, just alternative income streams help you add to your bottom line. Do you all balance your checkbook? Okay. Balancing your checkbook and reconciling your bank account and getting online to see what your balance is so important. Too many of my clients have excess bank service charges. And that's, okay, so I wanted that new dress, or I needed that new golf club, and I'm going to write this check, and I'm going to try and float it, but I need some gas too. And then I didn't get the money there in time, or the direct deposit didn't get there in time. Oh, wait a minute, I took an advance on my direct deposit. So Wells Fargo or Chase hit me for $35 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They took my money. No, they didn't take your money. You weren't responsible about the money that God gave you. So you took your own money. So stay away from the payday advances. Stay away from the direct deposit advances, and stop borrowing money and expecting somebody else to be responsible for you. You know, and I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I know that people that do. You know, financing their wants and begging for their needs. No, that's not a good step for success. And then Coupons, nothing wrong with using coupons. Hi, Daddy. That's my other daddy over there. That's the preacher over there. There's nothing wrong with using coupons. There's nothing wrong with clearance. Nothing wrong with sale. If you like to do things, there's nothing wrong with going to using the Groupon. I've gone to some great things using Groupon, Living Social. Nothing wrong with layaway. It's not that I'm telling you not to enjoy your life. I'm just trying to teach you how to enjoy your life better, and so you can use your money longer. You know, and just making good decisions. I remember when I was in college, and you know, I don't know why all the credit card places are right in front of the bookstore, but those credit card companies know that we didn't have no money, but yet you extended credit to us, and we thought, oh, it was free money. They must have wanted us to have it. It was free money. Well, when you don't have a job or you're only getting financial aid, how are you going to pay off that debt? Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. So now when you're 18 years old, you've messed up your credit. But now when you want to buy a car or buy a home, you got to worry about, well, what's my credit score? Or how do I find out my credit score? Or what's on my credit? Or all these things my responsibility? So let me see how to clean up my credit. Okay, let's take care of the first one. And then, you know, take care of the next one, or do I need to settle, or, you know, so it's, be very careful and talk to your young people about how to use credit responsibly. I just say cash is king, you know, it's like, if you don't have to pay for it, then you may not need it. You just may not need it. You guys asked a lot of great questions, and I'm really going to try to, you know, address all of them. But yeah, I'm really going to try to address all of them. So my next section is to talk about, you know, preparing for the future and understanding a little bit. I know a little bit. I do research just like you guys. So who should you always have in your corner? A CPA, an accountant, a tax preparer, attorney, financial advisor, or credit counselor. Because I'm good in what I'm good at. But what I'm not good at, I will refer out. And I don't mind referring out to somebody. Am I going too fast? Where am I? You guys okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So who knows about 401ks, deferred compensation, traditional IRAs, and life insurance and all that? I heard you talking a lot. I like what I heard you guys talking about, and you do too. So, you know, if you're working for a company that, you know, that's pretty viable, they will offer a 401k plan to help you with retirement. I always encourage people to do the matching. You know, you put in a certain amount and let your company match it. And, you know, the key age is 59 and a half. If you withdraw anything out prior to 59 and a half, you probably will incur early withdrawal penalty. Almost always will incur an early withdrawal penalty. Deferred compensation is another vehicle that they use if they're not offering you a lot of money in your package to help you save money for retirement. Your 401k is a type of deferred compensation plan. And a deferred compensation plan broadly refers to any number of retirement plans that defer the payment of your tax to your retirement. These plans generally allow your employer to set aside a portion of your income, either on a pre-tax basis, as is the case with a 401k or pension plan, or on an after-tax plan, as in executive bonus plans or non-qualified retirement plans. The advantages of 401k plans are generally best if you think you will be able to make large contributions to a retirement plan and your employer offers a matching contribution to the 401k plan. A deferred compensation other than a 401k plan is ideal if you're going to be paid less in income and your employer will make all or most of the contributions towards your retirement. 401ks do have limitations. While contribution limits are high, there is a limit to the amount that you may contribute. If you think you will contribute more than a retirement plan, more to a retirement plan than this, the 401k will impose unnecessary limitations on your ability to save money. Deferred compensation allows you to make higher contributions. I believe at the age of 70, you can begin to make withdrawals in terms of income. When I left my corporate America job, because before I worked with my dad, I worked in corporate America for an investment firm. So I like stocks and bonds, and I liked when they merged, things merged and all of that. I had a lot of fun doing that. But then I got outsourced, and I wasn't moving back to Sacramento because that's where I was. And my dad gave me the opportunity to come work with him. Now let me tell you guys, if anybody works with your family, I love him to death back there. But woo, we have some days sometimes, amen. I am, but I come from good stock. So the difference between stocks and bonds. A lot of people, at different stages of their life, your financial advisors may tell you a couple of different things. They may say when you're young and in your 20s, you can do a lot of stock because you can be more risky. And then when you go into 30, 40s, you can do a little balance of stocks and bonds so you're not at as much risk. And then some people say go all bonds by the time, you get of age. Now I have, I think you guys are getting all a copy of the packet. Yeah, you all. So anything that I'm talking about, you can just refer to the information in here. Some people say, so the profitability of one thing might fluctuate. I mean, we've all had been impacted by the economy, every last one of us. So looking at stocks and bonds may not be appealing because we've seen what those things have happened. But, the market is changing, the stocks are changing, so you just have to be careful about, what you decide to invest in and read up on the information, because depending on who you talk to, they might say one instrument or the other is more beneficial. Stocks, a lot of times, split, render dividends. Bonds render interest income. So what are your plans? Like when you think about your money, it's like, do I want to live paycheck to paycheck? Or do I still have kids, and do I need to create a vehicle for a college fund? Or do I need to create a vehicle for an emergency fund? Well, that's when, decisions about the 401k or decisions about deferred compensation, or when you leave your company and you want to move your 401k into a traditional IRA, that's when those decisions come into play. And then if you have life insurance, what type of life insurance do you have? Do you have the life insurance where it has a cash value option and you can use that as income or take loans against that in case of an emergency? So you just kind of have to start thinking about those things. There was also a question about bankruptcy and credit counselors. Yes, bankruptcy can mess up your credit for a long time. And some people say that it is one of the biggest offenders of your credit, but you can recover. Before you make that bankruptcy decision, you need to kind of, again, get real with yourself and see if you can do some personal inventory and modify some things on your own, and then go down and sit with a credit counselor. A lot of companies are willing to work with you. AT&T has a certain kind of program. PG&E has a program. When people seeing that the economy is doing what it's doing, people are having challenges. So certain companies will work with you in some areas before you ultimately have to make that decision. And then how did you get into the credit crunch that you have? I have this one client, love her to death, respect her a lot. However, she had great credit at one time, and now her debt to income ratio is out of control. And you may tithe $1,000, but your debt outweighs how much you tithe, and now you're being audited. So kind of have to think about those things when you're saying, oh, I'm just going to use credit pay. I'm going to use this credit card to pay this, and now I want to go shopping, and then I want to do this. And is that really being a good steward over your money? It's not. Take care of your needs first. and be responsible of what God is about, what God is giving you first. And then if you've made provisions and planned for the fun, have the fun, but still be responsible about what God has given you. So there is some information about, what bankruptcy is and how it affects your credit and, how to recover from it. I don't know if you guys know, but Donald Trump is always filing bankruptcy when he somehow gets out of it. I'm just saying, he is. He is. What kind of financial legacy do you want to leave for your family? Do you want to leave them bad habits, debt, or do you want to leave them a surplus? Because it's really about the way that you're taught about money, and that carries on to your children. I don't know if you remember me saying earlier, if we thought about the things that we did today, would it have direct impact on things to come? Would you change your behavior? So if you teach your child, or whomever you're with, you give them a help up and not a hand out. You give a person a fish, they eat for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, eat for a lifetime. If you teach them how to count change back properly, because they don't do that anymore, right? If you teach them the importance of having a bank account and making sure that how to write a check, how to balance the bank account. If you teach them about, don't buy those 20-inch rims on your car if you want to buy a home. Change your mindset about how you think about money, and then teach your child differently, or your family member differently. It's like I said, I'm not saying not to have a good time. What I'm saying is be responsible about what God has given you, so you can have a good time. Let's see, let me make sure I went through all of your questions. It is warm in here. I need to put some air. Okay, so in your packet there is, when we talked about the budget, a little bit about the budget, there is like a cash flow plan, so in there. And when you get home in your own spare time, be real with yourself. How much do if I bring home $300 at the end of this paycheck? Okay, well, 10 of that, that's $30. Another 30 and another 30. With what I need to cover for this week or next week, do I have enough? Do I have enough? I know it's scary, but do that. And I don't know what your income is. I don't know what your situation is, but try it and see if you can plan for savings. See if you can plan for tithing. See if you can plan to reinvest back into yourself. Okay? One of the questions was, what are the best steps and principles to saving money along with your take-home income? I liked one of the articles I read that said the 7 baby steps. Save $1,000 beginning, emergency fund in the bank. Pay off all your credit card debt except the house. Save up to 3 to 6 months of living expenses, fully funded emergency fund. Put aside 15% of your income per month for retirement. Fund your children's college funds if that applies to you. Pay off your house early by paying extra on your house payment. Build wealth and give it away. So you can start building that emergency fund right here. Little by little, little by little. Because who knows, you might be really tired like I was the other night and just busted out 2 of your tires by turning short because I was tired. Thank God for insurance and an emergency fund.
So when you say we have 10 to invest, so we can, instead of investing, we can use it as our emergency fund?
Because you're investing back into yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're investing back into it. Thank you. Did that fan go yet? Oh my God. Okay. Help me out. Okay, let's see, where else are we here?
So if someone says that they cannot afford to make that savings, how would you address that issue with them? If it's
You
like-
can't afford not to. You can't afford not to. That means you make a sacrifice in another area. And what would be one of those areas?
Cable television.
TV.
All right, okay. Would you be willing to go through your closet because you haven't worn that outfit or that shirt or that dress or those shoes for the last 3 months or 6 months and say, hey, this is in still good condition. Let me have a yard sale, a garage sale, take them down to the farmer's market, go to the consignment store, put them up on eBay. Would you be willing to do that? Anybody? Amen. Because what's our biggest responsibility? Because God gave us everything we need, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all belongs to God, right?
Mhm.
So who should we honor in this?
God.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so I'm looking at this where you said, so when we get paid, this is what we should do. Tithe, even though I'm looking at my bills over here. I'm looking at save 10%, even though I'm looking at my bills over here. Even though it says invest 10%, I'm still looking at my, so my 70% should be everything else. But I should do these 3 things just no matter what.
Okay, I'm not telling you to get your lights turned off. No, I'm not telling you that. Not at all. I would be foolish to say that to you. But I am saying make better decisions. So that means if you have to fill your tank up on Sunday, to not have to fill it up till the following Sunday, then you do that because you're, oh, I gotta have $20 to do this. I gotta have $20 for gas. Well, no, I fill my tank up on Sunday, so I don't have to worry about gas this week. Or no, I fill my BART card up on Sunday, so I don't have to worry about travel this week. You know, things like that. Oh no, I went to the grocery store and I'm gonna prepare 3 meals, as opposed to the $5 a day or the $10 a day or the $20 a day, Jesse White, that it costs to eat. I'm talking to my dad. He ain't even paying attention. You know, or making have better lifestyle changes, meaning preparing your own meals because you can control the salt and the pepper and all of that. Anyway, doesn't that make our outside and our inside look good? So as opposed to, we don't know how X person prepared our food, so we don't know if we're allergic to something or it's going to affect if my situation is diabetes or high blood pressure. I don't know all of that. But if I'm controlling my intake, then I'm making a healthier lifestyle change financially and physically, right? Because I'm honoring my temple by being responsible about my money and honoring God.
Another one.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
One of the things that I do, and I'm not as diligent as I should be, I'm her mama anyway, is that since I'm retired, when I have direct deposit, but 2 days after that direct deposit, part of that goes into my savings automatically. It's just something that I set up. Now, if I keep that savings in there the whole month, it'd be really good, and not have to go that good. As my daughter is teaching me, amen. But that's one way to start trying to put together an emergency fund as well, or savings.
Right.
Yeah.
My question would be about the investment, because I do the savings. My savings come out before I even get my paycheck. It goes into my savings account. But now you're talking about 10% invest, because I already have workers. I have the savings. I have deferred comp through my job. Now, what else invest?
You have life insurance?
I have life insurance policy.
Okay. Do you have an emergency fund?
My savings.
Okay. Do you have to put children in college?
No. Thank
Okay.
you, Jesus. Hallelujah.